Greetings, fellow Whovians. Whovian Queen here. Hope you have a good week so far. Well, a look at the 11th Doctor era now continues on with The Hungry Earth. So, let's take a look at it. In the small Welsh hamlet of Kempdwarf, sorry if I butchered that, in 2020, a drill at a mining operation called Mo was pulled underground after the ground opens during the night shift. The 11th Doctor, Amy and Rory land in Kempdwarf instead of their intended destination, Rio de Janeiro. They meet the leader of the operation, Dr. Nussarin Chandri, who's studying minerals deep in the earth that have not been seen for over 20 million years. Nussarin is assisted by Mo's father-in-law, Tony Mack. An earth tremor causes the ground to open and sends Tony and Amy falling into it. Tony is rescued, but Amy is pulled underground. The Doctor surmises that someone is programming the ground to attack Amy and the others using technology usually seen on jungle planets. The group is soon alerted to the presence of 3 life forms traveling up the drilling shaft below the earth, and they barricade themselves in the church. The Doctor explains Amy's disappearance to Rory and assures him he will get her back. The three beings are discovered to be reptilian humanoids, and in a scuffle, they capture Mo's son Elliot and strike Tony with the venomous forked tongue. The Doctor and Rory subdue one while the other 2 retreat with Elliot back into the earth. The Doctor realizes that the beings are a new form of Silurians, and that they have relented in their attack since both sides hold a hostage. The captured Silurian calls herself Alaya. She was awoken by the drill. Alaya believes, as do all Silurians, that the earth still belongs to them, that the drilling was a form of attack by the humans, and that they will defeat humanity eventually. Tony, suffering from the effects of the venoms, says that they should dissect Alaya, but the Doctor warns that it would be seen as an act of war. The Doctor decides to travel in the TARDIS down the drilling shaft to talk to the rest of the Silurians and work out a truce. Nussarin accompanies him. Amy awakens to find herself strapped to an examining table, near to where Mo was also ensnared. Mo explains that the Silurians dissected him awake and will do the same to Amy. The Doctor and Nussarin arrive underground in the TARDIS. The show ends in a cliffhanger as the Doctor and Nussarin behold an immense Silurian civilization in the caverns below the Earth. Bum bum bum. So anyway, let's take a look at the production of this episode, beginning with writing and casting. Stephen Moffat contacted Chris Chibnall, asking him to return to writing for Doctor Who. Chibnall had previously written the Doctor Who episode 42, as well as episodes of the spin-off series Torchwood. Moffat and executive producer Piers Winger gave him the brief of Silurians, a drill, and that it was a 2-parter. The Silurians were villains who had previously appeared in the 1970 serial Doctor Who and the Silurians and the 1984 serial Warriors of the Deep. For research, Chibnall read the original novel Doctor Who and the Cave Monsters and watched the original serial, noting the freedom writer Malcolm Hulke took with the novel and things he could not have done in the television format. Chibnall wanted there to be a huge Silurian city in contrast to the small human village on the surface. Knowing that the Silurians were not as popular and recurring as other villains, Moffat instructed Chibnall to bring the creatures to a new audience. But Chibnall decided to start out knowing nothing about them and then introducing them in the most exciting and scary way possible for people who've never seen them before. Chibnall also considered bringing back the Silurians' amphibious cousins, the Sea Devils, but decided that doing 2 races of monster was tougher, and the story was so clear about the Silurians and what the Silurians want. Chibnall, having enjoyed when the Doctor and his companions were separated, made the decision for Amy to be absent for most of the episode. Moffat also thought that at the point in the middle of the series, it was appropriate to show the Doctor behave differently with other people. A deleted scene, parts of which were shown in the accompanying behind-the-scenes show Doctor Who Confidential, was filmed, depicting Amy discussing with the Doctor how she had seen herself with Rory 10 years in the future, and if that would actually happen. With the absence of Amy, Chibnall thought that Nussarin became a de facto companion. Meera Syal, who was cast as Nussarin, had been a fan of the series since childhood and been trying to secure a role in the show since its revival in 2005, and was pleased when she received it. Sale described her character as a very high-up, innovative geologist who became good friends with the Doctor as the two admired each other's passion. And now finally onto filming and effects. Moffat wanted the Silurians to be redesigned without their former third eye, as Stavros also had a third eye, and he wanted the Silurians to be completely different. They were intended to be a different branch of the same species, and so the original Silurians still existed. Chibnall wrote for the redesigned Silurians to be beautiful, and it was intended for the redesign to capture the actors' features. And allow them to give stronger performances and differentiate themselves. Chibnall believed that it complemented the theme of the two-parter about how the humans and Silurians were alike and different. Due to the expensive prosthetics needed, extra Silurians wore face masks, which prevented the need for every actor portraying a Silurian to receive the facial prosthetics. Chibnall also incorporated a poisonous tongue into the new branch of Silurians. The Hungry Earth and the second part, Cold Blood, made up the fourth production block of the series and were filmed in late October and November 2009 in the Upper Boat Studios and Llywelyn, sorry if I butchered that, Wales. In an interview, Sale stated that they did the location filming first. The drill itself was automatic and done by computer. For the scene in which Amy is dragged underneath the ground, Gillan stood on boxes and lowered herself into a stone compartment. Two pieces of rubber were at the opening of the compartment, which expanded as she lowered herself down. A layer of soil was spread across the rubber. Gillan's ears were taped over to make sure the soil did not enter her ears. Gillan, initially scared of performing the stunt, put some more fear and claustrophobia into the scene as she expected Amy felt the same way. So overall, this is a pretty good beginning to this two-parter, and I do like the fact that they brought back the Silurians, so thumbs up for that. So overall, I give The Hungry Earth 4 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. Well, tune in next week as we take a look at Cold Blood. Well, hope you enjoyed the review, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified about when I upload videos. And when to help support this channel, be sure to check out my Patreon page. Link, as always, is in the description below. Well, until next time, this is Hoovian Queen saying, "Oh my giddy aunt! When I say run, run! I'm Versa Polarity, the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo!" Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.